What is good, cutted people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalambeats, and in today's video we talking about Lil Skies finally being back. I don't know if my predictions in the past, I said Lil Pump was making a comeback, I said Wifey and Not Mir was making a comeback, but we all know how that went with Soul Train. But he still got that single with Op Stop, you know, that was viral on TikTok and whatnot. But Lil Skies this time is making a comeback. And by the way, Lil Pump still could make a comeback, but I don't know what he's doing. He's, you know, banging like horses on OnlyFans or something. Anyway, the reason I say Lil Skies is gonna make a comeback is because he just featured on this new song with Snot on Lyrical Lemonade, a new music video. Finally, we get the Lyrical Lemonade, Cole Bennett, Lil Skies combo back, where he actually originally blew up from. Red Roses, I think the song was called, and then he had a few others afterwards. But that was like the prime of Lil Skies, like 2017, 2018. Ever since then, he dropped the Unbothered album a couple months back, and it sold a whopping 15K first week, which is abysmal, if you ask me, especially after coming off his last project Shelby, which sold like 65K or something like that. And then the album before that, which is Life of a Dark Rose, I don't know how much that sold first week, but that album is goated. You cannot deny that. It had every single banger on there, including all the ones that first blew him up. But as with most first albums, it's kind of biased because you have like all the time in the world to build this first album, whereas afterwards on your sophomore and then your third album, you only kind of have like a year, maybe even less, for a lot of rappers at least. But I think the problem with Lil Skies' Unbothered album is that he took like 2 years to drop something with a huge change. And that change was going from very melodic vocals, which he blew up from, and obviously everybody liked since he gained hella clout off of this sound, to more rapidy rap, like less melodic, I guess just not as catchy music. And I think that's why most people didn't like the Unbothered album. Now, a lot of times first week sales are based upon how much hype an artist has, and all of the singles coming up to that, you know, maybe one or two people fucked with, but generally speaking, he was already dropping some of this new sound that he dropped on Unbothered, so it didn't have much hype at all, and that's why it sold 15K. However, on this new Snot song, Whipski, directed by Cole Bennett on the Lyrical Lemonade channel, you can tell that Lil Skies obviously is taking the criticism in stride, and he's going back to his old ways, singing on the track. Now, he still had his like fluffy hair, not the braids, which was iconic for the Lil Skies brand. In fact, for Halloween a couple years back, I was literally Lil Skies and I had braids. I had to get like extensions and shit, and I grew my hair out as long as I could for like months, and I still needed to get extensions, but that was his look. And so when he started to grow out his hair more and do whatever this curly hair type giant is, I don't know, man, it's just not it. The bitches ain't trying to, I don't know, get all that grease in there. You probably put your hand in there and it feels like some like BBW chick squirted all over you. You basically stuck your hand into a jar of hair gel or something. Now, I can't play the song in this video because I'm gonna get copyrighted. However, you can go listen to that yourself. You probably already have, with it already having over 1 million views basically. But that's not all. For Lil Skies has also gone back to his box braids days. I'm hyped. We're getting that old Lil Skies back, which is gonna be a huge catalyst, in my opinion at least, for him making a massive comeback. Now, something to be concerned with regarding this whole going back to the old sound ways that has also occurred to many of the artists that I talk about on this channel normally, like Trippie Redd, Lil Uzi Vert, Playboi Carti, is that it seems like fans always want artists to go back to their old sound and never progress. In fact, Nick on Twitter said, I don't know why people don't like progression until everyone else is doing it. No one likes change or being different. Something that happened very recently with Whole Lotta Red, where everybody was saying like, why is Carti doing this whole new vampire sound when the old sound Carti with like Molly, Cancun, all of the Whole Lotta Red version 1 leaks, everybody was messing with. But what we forget is at the time that these songs leaked and Die Lit released and self-titled, everybody was hating on it. So it's essentially the same thing. It's just a lot of these artists are kind of ahead of the curve before the sound becomes popular. And I think that's what's happening with Whole Lotta Red, especially the tight beats, which we'll get into in another video because I got something to share with y'all. But in Lil Skies' specific situation, I think it's a little bit different because as much as this new rapidy rap style, less melodic for Lil Skies, is new for him, I don't think it's anything new or special in general in the rap game. I think what was special about Lil Skies in the past is his melodies, obviously, and his whole aesthetic with the box braids. But now that he switched to something that pretty much every single rapper can do nowadays, I mean, mean, I think that was the issue with like Eternal Take and some of the newer Uzi music that a lot of fans maybe weren't taking as well to, is because both Uzi and Lil Skies were going into a sound that was almost directly opposite of what they were doing before, whereas Uzi was doing like mumble rap melodies where nobody really cared about lyrics, and that's how he blew up with like Love Is Rage 2, Lil Uzi Vert vs. The World, The Perfect Love Tape, and Lil Skies with the previous albums that we talked about before. But then both of them start to put more of an emphasis on lyrics, when honestly for me that's not even the wave. I don't give a fuck what you're saying, it just gotta sound good and I gotta be able to vibe to it. Then after it sounds good, then you can put lyrics to it, and that's where like a Drake comes in, or like a J. Cole, or like a Kendrick, mixing both the sounds with a moving message. But in conclusion, I think both Uzi, Lil Skies, and Trippie Redd, maybe even Cardi too with the Whole Lotta Red Deluxe, they're all going back to that old sound because they realized that maybe the mainstream public that they had in the palm of their hands at the beginning of their careers are kind of leaving them for what they wanted in the first place, the hot sound that was already successful in their career, rather than going into like old school rap that isn't as popular anymore. So good for all of these artists. I'm not a hater by any means. If they need to make certain music to get it out of their system, then go ahead. I'll support all of them. I pretty much have every time. But there's nothing wrong with trying something new, and maybe if it didn't work, then go back to what you were doing before and then try and progress on like a different pathway. So I don't necessarily think that Lil Skies, Uzi, Trippie Redd, Cardi, any of these artists are gonna go back to like directly the old sound. They'll keep some of the new things that they learned and apply it to the old sound and try a different route. That's all it is. I would never want to hold back an artist's career to go back to their old sound. And so with that, it's your boy bobbalambeats signing off. Hype for Lil Skies now that he's finally braided his pubes again. Let me know in the comments if you like this new Lil Skies sound with the rapidy raps on Unbothered, or you liked his old sound better. Make sure to like and subscribe to join the Bob gang if you with it. Peace out, cut it, people. Know what I'm saying?